Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Lone Wolf 902. Today, as you can see, we've got a pretty epic setup, all right? It's forecasted to rain like crazy tonight. Right now, it's quite misty and foggy down here, so you can kind of see the mist all the way down this brook. And it's making for a really, really awesome ambient kind of feel. It's kind of spooky, but it's nice. The birds are out, they're chirping. Beautiful water sounds, excellent. So today I'm out with my signature branded Wolf Den tarp. This is the Lone Wolf 902 tarp. I've got my hammock and I've got an underquilt on there just for mosquito protection. I don't really need it for temperature. It's mainly to stop the mosquitoes from biting me underneath the hammock. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and cut some limbs because I wanna make a tripod. And I wanna place it down near the front of my hammock, because I actually brought my camp table with me, okay? So I wanna go around, gather up some limbs, I'm gonna lash them together, get the tripod set underneath, and then I can do all my cooking and eating and all that fun stuff sitting inside of the hammock with that epic view with the water right underneath my feet. So let's go ahead and get some limbs and get that tripod made. Alright guys, it's getting a little late in the day. I've been kind of lazing around camp. I've been bumping around in the hammock for a little while. It is extremely warm out now. The sun is starting to set, so it's actually poking out underneath the clouds, even though it is still really cloudy out. I'm hoping we get that massive rainstorm that the weather is calling for. No promises. I mean, they said it was going to thunder, lightning. We'll see what happens. It is extremely hot now, though. I mean, I'm drenched in sweat. I had to get my sweater off. Very, very warm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go collect a little bit of firewood. I don't need the fire for cooking, and I don't need it for heat. I just want it simply to sit down and enjoy a campfire, listening to the flowing river, and just have a fire. That's it. So I'm going to get a little bit of firewood ready, and then very shortly after that, I think I'm going to start on supper. And yeah, basically get that done as soon as possible. For one reason, there is a bear in the area right now, okay? I knew that before I came out here. There's been an active bear in this area for quite a while. Fairly large black bear too, so I'm kind of at a disadvantage of where I chose to camp. I'm literally sleeping right over top of its water source. Smart or not smart, this is where I'm staying. I'm gonna stand my ground. I do have the bag for my tarp, okay? So I got my bag hanging over here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stuff that bag full of all of my dirty stuff, my pot, my cup, anything that has a trace of food. And I'm basically gonna hang it high up in a tree with the extra paracord that I brought. So that's gonna hopefully do the trick, and hopefully we don't have any issues. But that's gonna be the plan. I'm gonna get some firewood, get that stuff situated so when it's dark I can go ahead and light the fire, and then I wanna start on supper because I am getting crazy hungry. So let's go get some firewood. All right, guys, I got a little bit of firewood here. Probably more than enough that I really need. I got a bunch of fairly dry pieces of hardwood here, and then a mix of dry and wet stuff here. Now, one thing I did find is some birch bark laying on the ground. Got this stuff here. Now, this stuff I actually found underneath rocks, so it is fairly dry, but I did find a couple pieces just kicking around that are fairly damp. That stuff I'm going to lay aside for a few minutes, probably about 20-30 minutes in the open, and hopefully that'll get a little bit dry enough to burn. But this right here is more than enough to light a fire, okay? Even though these sticks are fairly damp, some of them are dry. They got quite a nice snap to them. So, I mean, that's really dry. It has been raining all morning and all yesterday, so there are some pieces of wood that are a little damp, but this find here, this nice pretty dry birch bark underneath a rock, will come in handy, very much so. So I'm going to keep that in my pocket for now, and like I said, I got a couple other pieces I'm just going to lay out, let those air dry, and go ahead and get a fire lay ready and not light it just yet. But I want to be as prepared as possible, because that's the biggest thing when trying to light a fire when it is damp or wet out. It's all preparation. It's not that it's harder, it's just you need to prepare your firewood. It's all in the preparation, okay? So proper fire lay, proper fire set of having your small sticks on the bottom, your driest, and then bigger and bigger and bigger, and get that tinder under there when it's nice and dry. Get a spark in there, you got fire. So it's all in the preparation. Take your time, no worries. So we'll let this sit here for a little while. I'm going to take some of these bigger guys, get them over where I'm going to set my fire, and slowly pick away at it. supper is ready. So what I've got here is basically a pesto dish. It's one of those kind of ready to go meals, already mixed. You just gotta add water, cook it up. Kind of like sidekicks. Really, really nice pesto. I love this stuff. It's super good. I make mine a little more on the soupier side, so you kind of have a little bit of broth at the end to drink. Now, I was gonna bring garlic naan bread. Totally forgot it. So, just gonna be pesto pasta for supper. And I've got my beer sitting down here in the water, staying nice and cool. It is hot out, I'm telling you guys. It's warm right now. So I let my pesto cool down for probably about 10 minutes. It's a little on the cool side now. It's still a little steamy. You kind of see it steaming a bit, but I'm gonna kick back. I'm gonna enjoy my dinner because I am starving. And then I'm gonna do a very thorough cleanup. I want to get all this stuff washed up, get everything back in my stuff sack bag for my tarp, and like I was saying earlier, hike it right up into the tree so there's no trace of food or any scent of beer kicking around, okay? So now I'm just going to enjoy my supper, kick back, and basically listen to the sounds of the birds in the river. Can't beat that. All right, guys, I got the fire going pretty good right now. Now, I am going to be drying out my shoes and socks because I did slip in the water a few times off camera and pretty wet. I didn't bring a change of clothes, so I really don't want to be sleeping in nasty wet clothes. And it's so humid out right now, nothing's gonna dry. So I am gonna get my shoes, socks propped up probably on this log, dry them out, and hopefully go to bed with some dry clothing because my shirt is still a little wet itself. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to get close to the fire and get some dry clothing going on. And then after that, I'm gonna be basically snuffing it out, jump in the hammock, and it's bedtime. So I'm beat, I'm exhausted. This was a long hike in here. I'm about, I don't know, probably about 75 to 100 foot down in a ravine. So I've got to climb all the way up that tomorrow. And I'm actually going on another camping trip tomorrow. So it's going to be early morning, pack up, do my usual coffee thing and breakfast. And then I'm going to be going home, showering, repacking, and going right back out for another adventure. So going to be an early night tonight. Not a whole lot going on. Like I said, I'm just going to dry out, enjoy my beer, jump in the hammock. Good night. So I'm going to say peace out to you guys right now, and I'll catch you guys in the morning time. Good morning, everybody. It is a beautiful morning out here right now. Hear the birds in the background chirping. A couple light rumbles of thunder off in the distance. We had some really loud booms of thunder just a minute ago. So last night it poured with rain off and on all night. The tarp held up really well. I gotta say, I pitched the tarp really high up off the hammock so I'd be able to see out underneath the tarp sitting inside of the hammock. I was completely dry. My underquilt is completely dry. There was no blowing rain that came in on the side. That was an awesome setup. Really happy with that. Very cool. I got to hear the trickling water all night. I fell asleep really quick with the rain and the water underneath me. It was a different feeling for sure. But I gotta say, I had a good night, really good night. So right now, I've got my coffee. I also made up a pot of oatmeal over here. I'm just waiting for that to cool down and thicken up a little bit. So I've got a lot of oatmeal on the go. And I've just been kicking back, listening to the sounds of nature, listening to the creek, listening to the birds, the thunder. It is still raining off and on, so I imagine it's going to open up soon and it's just going to downpour. But for now, we got good window for coming out from underneath the tarp and coming over here and enjoying a little bit of openness. So really enjoying this time, really enjoying this trip. It's about 6 a.m. right now, and like I was saying yesterday, I do have to get on the go here very shortly because I am going to a different location about 2.5 hours away from here to do another overnighter. So I'm on the go with the overnighters. I'm on the go, definitely getting around and seeing new sights and seeing new places and doing stuff. So I'm gonna have my coffee, my oatmeal, and then relax for a minute, and then I'm slowly going to start packing up my hammock. All right, breakfast is all done. I've already started packing up, but before I go ahead and pack up my table setup, I wanted to go ahead and show this in closer detail because I don't feel I showed it in good detail yesterday, and I do have a review on this. I should mention that. I do have a review, and I mentioned that you can hook it on to a stick. So what I did last night, knowing that there was a thunderstorm rolling in, I had this pitched underneath the tarp right next to the hammock. Now I left these limbs long on purpose because last night I put one shoe up here, my other shoe over here. There's a little nub over here I can hang my pot bag off of. The table has all these holes, my spoon, my fork, everything that I need to go there went here and it stayed. All the other stuff I hung up in the tree to keep out of the, basically not to attract animals, right? So what I've got going on here is just a simple tripod of sticks that I've lashed together. And then I've got my table attachment here. And like I was saying in the review, you can hook it on to the stick using the adapter piece here. And you've got a table that you can move all over the place. Now right now this limb is twisting because it's not set up properly. When I had it set up in the water it was rock solid, but This is just a neat little way to use your gear, to kind of multi-use it. You know, it's meant for a tent pole, but I put it on a tripod and it worked amazing. Without this, I would have been out here in the rain cooking, and that would not have been fun. So this really allowed me to be inside underneath the tarp in the hammock and do all my cooking and stuff using this table. So that was awesome. This was a really, really good test of that, and I'm really happy I did it because, like I said, it made the trip. It made it possible. So I'm going to go ahead, strip my cordage off of this, put these limbs off to the side. I probably will come back to this area at some point. You guys know I like to revisit areas different times of the season, so I'll come back here in the winter, the fall, whatever, because I like to see the lay of the land in different times of the year. So I am packing up right now. Just gonna go ahead and get my table. All my cooking gear's already in my bag. I got to get the hammock out and then get the tarp down and get that folded up, and then we're gonna be ready to hit the trail. So I just wanted to show you guys this neat little hack, if you will. Pretty awesome. It worked really good. All right, everything's in the pack. Everything's all packed away. I didn't leave anything behind. I like doing a once-over, just kind of looking just to make sure I've got everything. And it looks pretty good. So all my gear is ready to go. I'm ready to go. I've got quite a hike back up to that waterfall. So better get on the way because the sky is starting to rumble and it looks like it's going to open up with rain really soon. So make our way back upstream to the waterfall, make the hill climb, and then head out of here. So let's go. All right, guys, made it up to the top of the waterfall. Excellent view. Beautiful in the morning, nice cloudy, rainy. I'm out of breath. Thunder's back again. So this marks the end of the trip. I'm gonna pack my camera gear into my bag. I'm basically out of here. I'm gonna hike the rest of the trail really quick. This is all I got for rainwear, shorts and a sweater. So I still got quite a ways to go. I'm gonna put you guys in my backpack, cut the video. I wanna say thank you guys for joining me on this adventure. Awesome, really awesome setup. I loved it. I had a lot of fun. So I wanna catch you guys in the next video. Thank you. Peace out, guys.